fearless, and I just loved the fearlessness of Kayla in the film. Like, oh, if she wanted something, she was gonna go and get it. She was gonna try, and she wasn't gonna give up. And that spoke to me. It spoke to me for so many reasons, and even talking about it now, I'm just getting emotional because I just love this film. I honestly did. My name is Sophie Hannah, and this is the CINE CHIC vlog, which is a vlog all about films. And today I'm talking about 8th grade. I actually went to go and see this in an unlimited screening at Cineworld, and I think it comes out in a few weeks. And this film actually has some Oscars buzz around it. So there was talk that this film could be nominated for an Oscar, and I really hate when films take forever to come over, but it's finally here, and I'm going to be talking about it because I loved this film. I loved this film. I loved it. It spoke to my heart, and it was an emotional experience. And sometimes film is like that for you, but I was crying my eyes out by the end of it. So I really want to tell you why it just rang so many bells with me. In terms of the plot for 8th grade, it's very basic. It's a coming of age drama comedy. So it's about this girl who is finishing middle school in America and is getting ready to go to high school. So it's her last few weeks, I would say, of middle school. She's kind of in that period, like she's just becoming a teenager and trying to find herself. And it's very much about her trying to understand who she is and what she wants in life. And you're not gonna find that all out when you're a teenager. I mean, I'm 30 plus and I'm still trying to like find that stuff out. And in that sense, it's a very typical coming of age story. So when you see a film about high school, you know it's going to talk about boys and friendship. But a really interesting part is that this brings in social media. The main character is called Kayla Day, and she also tries to make YouTube videos. Aren't we all? And her YouTube videos are all about confidence and to give people advice on life and how to be your best self, which is really ironic in the film because she doesn't have a lot of confidence in certain areas and she's trying to be her best self, like she hasn't arrived there. And I don't know, the idea of like teenagers giving life advice on YouTube, I don't know if that's a common thing, but maybe I'm too old to know. In terms of the pros, now the thing that worked fantastically well in this would have to be Elsie Fisher, who is the main character, the main lead, like who this film completely centers around. She is such a good little actress. I say little just in a sense because she's young in age, not talking about her height or anything, but she just has such a transparent face. Like you can just feel everything that she's thinking and feeling. You can see on her face, you can feel it. She communicates it so well. She was so genuine and real and natural. Like a lot of the times I didn't even feel like I was watching an actor or watching a film. I honestly felt like I was spying on someone's life. Like it actually felt inappropriate at times. And that's so, I think that's so great, because you felt like you were watching this vulnerable, awkward, nerdy girl going through these really sometimes difficult situations, but really cringy situations sometimes as well, like turning up to a party that she wasn't invited to and you're just like, oh, like this is not gonna go well. Like you really wanted to protect her, and her vulnerability really came over on the screen. And she was a good actress, and she was actually the person that people were thinking might have been nominated for an Oscar in the previous Oscar season. And she would have 100% deserved to have been nominated with the other women and to even have won. Like for me, that's how good she was in this role. Also, I think it was just a well-written script. It has so much humour in it, and I think it was quite dark humour in a lot of senses. Things are funny, but it's just painful to watch as well. It's like painful funny, and that doesn't surprise me because the person who wrote this is actually a young comedian called Bo Burnham, and I really think he put those comedic elements into the film so well that you were laughing, but you also felt the emotion behind it. And I guess it worked as a good alleviation of some of the really darker moments in the film, because there were some really unexpected paths that this film went down, and it really shocked me. There was just one point in the film where I was just like, what? Like, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I wanted to shout out, honestly, I wanted to swear at the screen, to be honest, because I just didn't know what was going to happen. I was genuinely fearful for the character of Kate. Like, I just wanted to reach in and just grab her and just keep her safe. And I think to really make people feel like that, like at those points the cinema was literally so quiet you could have heard a pin drop. It was so tense, like the tension it built. And I just feel like you have to write that into a script. Even though this is a coming of age film and it's been done millions of times, I really felt that this script brought something unique to the genre. And in that sense, the script just had so much heart. The music is also something to talk about in this film, so the music was used as a way to communicate what it is that Kayla was feeling. So it could be a scene of Kayla like walking into school or going to a party, but then you had this really like loud auto-tune, synthesized beats, but it's communicating what Kayla's inner monologue is. So whereas everything might be calm on the outside, for her, it's the height of anxiety and worry and nervousness. And I really loved how the film played with the music and used it to show us what was really going on inside, because that's very much us, isn't it? You can be in a situation which can seem like you're fine, but inside there might be some inner turmoil. And I really liked how that spoke not just how life is for teenagers, but for everybody. In terms of the cons, this film didn't have that many for me. I think the one thing that I would say is that maybe it could have been a bit longer. Like, we're given a very clear snapshot of Kayla's life. So some of the people who she interacted with, their stories weren't sewn up by the end of the film. There were some people I was like, well, what happened to that guy and how did that work out? But I guess I can see how that works if this is only a snapshot. Like in life, I guess not everything is going to be sewn up. You're not going to have a conclusion to every relationship or every friendship and understand in a neatly sewn off way how it all ended. But I don't think you walk away from this film feeling unfulfilled because of it. In terms of the themes and what to take away from the film, it had a lot of themes, and some of the ones that I really liked, so I'll talk about two. One was this idea of inner and outward success. So Kayla's constantly looking for outside validation, and I'm gonna say outside validation sucks. Like, looking for anything in society to kind of validate us is just such a slippery slope. And you don't have to be a teenager to understand that. I'm in my 30s and I get that, and you can easily fall into that trap, and Kayla does. So this need for external validation, this need for popularity can really put people in some really difficult and dark places when we might be wanting one thing, but that can lead us down a very dangerous path. I think it's one we need to talk about more in society, because we're so constantly bombarded with issues of what is success. So whether it's money or the way that you look or being in a relationship, actually a lot of times it's what's inside of us that counts. And I love that the film really talked about that in subtle, well, not so subtle ways, but I love that the film talked about that. Also, another idea that the film talked about, which I love, was about being brave. Just grabbing life by the horns or the balls or whatever you want to call it. So like Kayla, she puts herself in these really awkward situations sometimes, and for me I'm just like, oh, like Kayla, just settle in it, just like be calm. Don't push it, just be cool. But she is just relentless in trying to go for the things that she wants in life and being the person that she wants to be, regardless of a lot of the times of how that makes her look. And I think that was a really beautiful thing that happens in youth, when you're not so jaded by life and rejection and things that have happened to you. You just go out believing that you can make a difference and be the person that you want to be. And by the end of the film I was like, yeah, that is still true for teenagers and for adults, that you can be the person that you want to be, but you have to be brave about it. You have to be fearless. And I just loved the fearlessness of Kayla in the film. Like, oh, if she wanted something, she was gonna go and get it. She was gonna try, and she wasn't gonna give up. And that spoke to me. It spoke to me for so many reasons, and even talking about it now, I'm just getting emotional because I just love this film. I honestly did. So in terms of ratings, you know, I rate my films according to burgers because I love them so much, and out of a total of 5 burgers, because of how this film spoke to me, I'd give it 4 burgers. For me, it was an excellent film because it spoke about being fearless. This is a film that I would tell all of my friends about. It's a burger that I would recommend highly. Every time my friends come around, I tell them that they'd have to eat it. So make sure that you get out to the cinemas and watch it. Even though this is a film about a girl in 8th grade, I think a lot of times it's probably not suitable for children. So be mindful of that. There are some probably very inappropriate and adult moments and themes that you might not be comfortable with children watching. But as you know, I always like to end my vlogs with a film question. So today's question would be, what has been a great coming of age story for you? Please let me know down in the comments. Also, if you've liked my video, please don't forget to press the like button below, to subscribe to my channel and follow my journey on social media as I try to watch these 100 films in 2019. But until the next film, I'll be seeing you soon.